Those with spoiled siblings, when did your parents realize they terribly messed up? From what I had seen, everyone was incredibly unhappy with them for what they did, and it showed in their interactions with my parents. So, they ended up throwing the surprise party to try and salvage what little of their reputations they had left. But I'm pretty sure they had to spend a significant amount of money that day just to accommodate me. I had dinner with all my friends at my favorite restaurant, which had a small arcade. I even received the PS4 gaming system that I had been yearning for at that time. I could tell it was all pretty much planned and bought last minute. My dad had a look about him that my aunt comically described as looking like a moth had flown out of his wallet. Of course, my brother made a huge fuss about me getting that surprise party. But with so many of my friends and their parents present, my mom and dad finally put their feet down with my brother. This time around, they stopped his tantrum when he wanted to push my cake off the table. For the first time since he was a toddler, my brother received a timeout, and my mom had to stay with him to ensure he didn't do anything crazy. He tried several times to run toward the cake or the stack of presents, but there was always at least one adult on guard. Even my dad stood watch to keep him away. My mom ended up having to take my little brother to a nearby McDonald's so he could have fun in their play area. I later heard that she spent at least an hour trying to get him to come out of the play structure. He only came out because he needed to use the bathroom. Then he tried to run right back in again. While I still lived with them, my parents never attempted to cancel my birthday again. However, they never again put in as much effort or spent as much. For the remaining 4 years I was under their roof, my birthday parties consisted of a local pizza parlor, a cake without even my name written on it, and no gifts. I don't mean to sound spoiled, but I was somewhat disappointed that I never received a cake with my name on it again. Each year, my aunt called my parents out on that, and each year they claimed they had forgotten to get the cake decorated. I suspect the reason my name was never written on another cake was that my brother always refused to eat pieces of cake that had someone else's name on it at any party. They couldn't put his name on any of my cakes either, as it would have looked very bad for them. Nevertheless, the fact that I still had a day that was solely about me and not my brother was fantastic in my book, especially considering that everything else revolved around him. During each of my remaining birthday parties while I still lived at home, my brother would create a fuss, and my mom would take him somewhere else to calm him down. I was still required to share my PS4 with my brother, but it was still mine. I took it with me when I moved out at 18. My little brother did not appreciate that and threw a huge fit until my parents went out and bought another PS4 for him. When I moved out, my parents finally had to confront the consequences of raising my brother to be so spoiled because I wasn't there to assist them with him anymore. On his recent 14th birthday, he went into a rage at our parents for not getting him a PS5. He is now currently grounded for I don't know how long after causing hundreds or maybe even thousands in collateral damage during his rampage. He picked up a chair and started smashing anything in front of him with it. When I last saw my parents, they appeared mentally checked out. My aunt has also informed me that they confided in her about how they wish they could send my brother to a military or boarding school in the future because they can no longer handle the monster they created. However, they are unable to afford such an option. I would be lying if I said I didn't find it ironically funny.